Ever catch yourself daydreaming about, having a little more financial breathing room?
Yeah, who hasn't?
Well, get this. Today we're taking a deep dive into something called, and I'm using their words here, a millionaire mindset.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Millionaire mindset.
Right. But hold on. Before you write this off as another get-rich-quick scheme, I promise it's deeper than that. We're really digging into this document we found about using daily affirmations to, get this, attract wealth.
Okay, affirmations for wealth. What's the angle here?
That's what I thought was so interesting. It's this whole blend of practical advice, but then also this, almost like a self-belief, manifesting your destiny kind of thing.
It's interesting how those two things get put together so often, isn't it? Like practicality meets, something a little less tangible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this document we're looking at, it really zeroes in on this difference between a, quote, wealth mindset and a poverty mindset.
Okay, I've heard those terms thrown around before, but what do they actually mean according to this source?
So they break it down like this. A wealth mindset is all about focusing on opportunity, effort, and really playing the long game, thinking long term.
Makes sense. So what's the opposite side of that coin? What do they say a poverty mindset is?
They characterize it as, and this is kind of heavy, but being driven by fear, feeling powerless, and then ultimately, because of those things, just kind of staying stuck.
It's almost like two different lenses that color how you see the world, right? One focused on possibility, the other on limitation.
Totally. So my question is, are these just some fancy self-help buzzwords, or do these mindsets actually have real-world weight?
Oh, they're definitely not just buzzwords. The way we think about money, it really does impact our choices, in a tangible way.
So how does that actually play out? Can you give me an example?
Absolutely. Imagine you have two people, both with the same skills, the same opportunities in front of them. Let's say they both encounter, a really good investment opportunity.
Okay, I'm with you. Same opportunity, different mindsets.
Right. The person with the wealth mindset, they see this opportunity and they might feel a little nervous, sure, but they jump in. They're thinking about growth, about learning, about the potential long-term payoff.
They're willing to take a calculated risk because their eyes are on the bigger picture.
Exactly. But then you have the person with the poverty mindset. They see that same opportunity and they freeze up. They might be crippled by the fear of failure, of losing money. They might be thinking investing is too risky, or wealth is for other people, not me.
And that fear, whether it's conscious or not, it keeps them stuck exactly where they are.
Exactly. And here's the thing. It often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more they believe they can't achieve financial success, the less likely they are to take the actions that might lead them there.
It's like they say, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Exactly. Now, this document doesn't just diagnose the problem, it offers solutions. And this is where things get a little interesting, let's say. They're big proponents of using daily affirmations to actually, and this is their phrase, reprogram your thinking.
Okay, so we're talking full-on look in the mirror, tell yourself you're a money magnet kind of affirmations.
You got it. Think, I attract wealth because I deserve it, or my wealth is continuously growing.
I'm not gonna lie, when I first read that part, my first thought was, am I really supposed to manifest a pile of cash by just saying it out loud? It felt a little too good to be true.
Right, like just wishing it into existence.
Yeah, but then I kept reading, and I gotta say the psychology behind it is kind of fascinating.
It's not magic, right? It's about training your mind. It's like any form of repetition. You're trying to create new neural pathways.
So explain this to me like I'm 5. How does repeating these phrases actually lead to any real change?
Think of your subconscious mind like a garden, right? If you keep planting seeds of doubt and scarcity, guess what's going to grow? Weeds. But if you make a conscious effort to plant seeds of abundance, of self-worth, of belief in your ability to create wealth, well, you might be surprised at what you can cultivate.
So it's not about saying these affirmations once and then winning the lottery tomorrow. It's about consistently planting those seeds and nurturing that growth over time.
Exactly. Consistency is key. Our minds are incredibly powerful, and the more we feed them with positive, empowering beliefs, the more likely they are to manifest in our reality.
Okay, so we're not just talking about empty words here. There's a real psychological basis for this. But I also appreciate that this source doesn't just leave us with some vague notion of positive thinking. It gets down to brass tacks,
Right.
Like they lay out very specific steps for putting these affirmations into practice.
And it's not just saying the affirmations either. They emphasize the importance of embodying the feeling of wealth. Visualization is key.
So don't just say, I am financially abundant, but really try to feel it, to visualize what that abundance looks and feels like in your life.
Exactly. They suggest writing your affirmations down every day, maybe even creating a vision board with images that represent your financial goals. The idea is to immerse yourself in the energy of what you want to create.
And you know what? They actually share a story in the document about someone who used these techniques, the affirmations, the visualizations, the whole 9 yards, and completely turned their financial life around. Went from being in debt to, not just being financially stable, but thriving. It's a really compelling example of what can happen when you combine consistent action with a deep-seated belief in your ability to achieve your goals.
And it underscores the idea that this isn't about some overnight miracle. It's about a fundamental shift in mindset that then paves the way for long-term change.
I think the big takeaway here is if you can shift your internal script from money is scarce and I'll never have enough to wealth is possible for me and I'm capable of creating the financial future I desire, well, that's a game changer.
It really is, because when you change your beliefs, you change your actions. And when you change your actions, you change your reality. It's as simple and as complex as that.
So for anyone listening who might be feeling a little stuck, a little disheartened by their current financial situation, remember this. It all starts with your mindset. Believe that abundance is possible for you. Take those consistent steps to cultivate that belief, and you might be amazed by the results.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? If you could wave a magic wand and erase all those limiting beliefs about money that might be holding you back, what would you be capable of achieving? What opportunities would you finally allow yourself to pursue?
That's something worth thinking about.